Good morning, everybody. It's early. I didn't even think about it. Thursday morning, and Dave in Kentucky. Didn't have to think about that. Know who I am. I just need more coffee. Anyway, we're going to be shaving with a razor today. Let me take it apart, and I'll put it together as I speak to you. A very simple design by a nice gentleman that enjoys experimenting with and making razors. Usually 3D printed razors is what he designs, and usually see them in plastic, and many people get the blade off of this. Use his files that he puts on Thingiverse. Anyway, here is the razor. I'm going to show you the 4 pieces of it. Yeah, I can't get it without them falling. Anyway, there's a spring and the handle. You see that? Anyway, handle, spring, and then we have these 3 plates here. Okay, so I'll try to make it so you can see me put it together. If I can remember how it goes, right? Okay. First of all, we're using a London Bridge blade, a new one. So the plate, notice that top cap, very flat. Not sure why, other than he said he wanted a very simple, minimal design, fewest pieces as possible. And then I have the base, this base that holds it, and there is a second base here that's a little thinner if you want less exposure. This is slightly wider to give a little more exposure. Okay, got those on, then the spring goes on, then the plate goes on. Notice it's it's called the Tarmax, and of course TWhite, I'm sorry, I should have said, is the designer. And I'm trying to make sure I have this going the right way so that it lines up with number 1. And of course it didn't. So I don't know if you can see, but the marking on the handle went to the number 5, which means I need to take this off and switch it 180 degrees, and that will have it end up where it's supposed to be. I think I understood him right when he stated that. And sure enough, there we are. We're at number 1. All right, so let me wet my face. So he wanted I already loaded the brush here using the Grey Dog brush, Steve. And we're continuing into 1508.5 with the Hesslinger. Get my proto lather out of the puck here. And we'll get this loaded on. And I'm hoping for a nice thin lather. Too worried about what it looks like as much as I want it to be slick. So like I said, I'd have to read some more about Tom's making of this one. I know he wanted simple design, fewest parts as possible. I'm not sure if that's what played into it being a flat design without it having a curve, bend to the blade. Because that's going to have me shaving at an angle that I'm not real comfortable with. But hey, for science, I'll try about anything. And I guess you saw the cut there. Shaving with a bread lane, not recommended. See, I'll try almost anything. Anyway, I don't know if you can see how flat that blade sits, perfectly flat. Okay, so that was at 1. Let's open this up some. Let me take it to 5 and see what that does. It goes, I forget the numbers, I'd have to look it up, but if I use the thinner plate, you've got 1 through 8. You put this plate on, it actually, 5 is actually higher. So I forget how much, but anyway. Tom wanted to see the horror in my face. Oh, there it is. Huh, it wasn't that bad. I don't know how well it's cutting. It sounds like it is. So if this opens up the wound I have already, it's not the razor's fault at all. It's very smooth. I'm having trouble feeling the blade. I may. Having trouble maintaining that angle. It's such a flat design. Let's see. It's usually hard for me to tell how well it's cutting until at least the second pass. But pretty cool. This one's made out of aluminum. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but very cool. Just that Tom's able to come up with these things, honestly. He's probably most known for his Tinser, I call it, TNNSER razor. Don't know what that's an acronym for. And like I said, the hardest part for me is maintaining that angle. Where it's very flat. But the tins are... Do I have one in here? I do. I'll show it. Just in case somebody is watching that hasn't seen one before. The Tinser, for me, gives amazing shave. So that's one of Tom's designs. Has the kind of Ender's speed shaver handle. Uses a gem blade. Okay. Not as close as I can normally get in 2 passes, but certainly a respectable shave. And if I was smart enough to hold that angle better, it's just not a comfortable position for me to hold it, especially going around like the chin, rounded spots. That's where it's a challenge to hold that very flat angle. Maybe that's why manufacturers make it more of a curve. I don't know. All that stuff's above my pay grade, and that's why I don't design these things. Trying to be more conscious of that, holding it better at the angle on my against the green pass. Well, actually feels pretty good. I do the typical 3 passes, and it's actually, let me rinse my face, it's really almost 4 passes. I know you're not supposed to once you remove the lather, but I usually do only across the grain on this way. I'll do some going back the other way because the hair goes all over. Where are my glasses there? So there you have it. A little bit right here, which is a trouble spot for me always. I don't know why. This one I get easy, but... Alright, let me hit this with a little Humphreys. Maravilla 70. I don't think Toby C's watching this, but if he is, he makes fun of me. I list in my shave of the day pictures, I have 2 aftershaves. The Humphreys and then whatever aftershave I'm using. Humphreys is more used like a like you would a witch hazel before you use an aftershave. A lot of people use a witch hazel and an aftershave, so I use that. It's got a slight bay rum scent and it disappears immediately, so it's not like it's interfering with anything. I'm going to go with the Parasso. Green splash. Be a hot day with work today outside. Nice eucalyptus menthol. Alright, so that's it. Just the first shave with it. Nothing to fear. And again, we had it on setting 8. I'm going to read through the... I think I had it on 5, but it had turned and moved itself up to 6.5, almost 7. So that's what Jeff, who'd used this before me, was talking about. Where are we at? 18 minutes. We're going to have to wrap this up, friends. Anyway, I don't know if you can see the... Gets a little more gap with this one. The blade, of course, is up just below that triangle where it comes in, so it's coming straight across there. Interesting design. I don't know what he's mocked this up after, or if it's just something that he's imagined out of his own thinkings. And nice, interesting. When you turn this, you see that plate's going up and down. You've got the adjustability. Not sure not about that flat blade. You know, you've got the little bit of a peak here that gives you some angle, but I think there's something to having that blade arched, at least for me, in shaving. But just the first shave. Going to use it at least a couple more times, and we'll get back to you on it. Dave in Kentucky. I hope everybody has a great day.